you're a sports fan, if you like a good movie, if you kind of like an underdog mentality, a great coming up story, Air was definitely for you. So let's get into the review. It's not a movie about Michael Jordan. It's about Nike's rise in the shoe market and how Sonny Vaccaro's relentless pursuit of Michael Jordan did just that to really spark how Nike's rise in the shoe market came to be. And really, after you watch this movie, it's like, how do you not leave feeling hopeful, wanting to root for your favorite people, truly knowing what self belief can do for you and the people around you? It's an A-lister movie off the bat. You got Matt Damon as Sonny Vaccaro, the one who relentlessly chases MJ for the shoe deal. He was the VP of Nike. Jason Bateman as the marketing VP of Nike. Rob Strasser, or Strasser, it might be. Ben Affleck as the co-founder of Nike and Phil Knight. Chris Tucker as the VP of the Jordan brand and Howard White. You got Viola Davis and Julius Tenen, who crushed it as MJ's mom and dad, especially Viola Davis as the mother. I believe it was Dolores Jordan, and then Julius Tenen was James Jordan. God rest his soul. We know Dolores is still alive, and it did show at the end of the movie, NJ just giving his mom the ultimate flowers for everything that she's done for him. I was a big fan. If you ever get the chance to watch the movie, you're going to notice how they perfectly name dropped NBA legends like Magic Johnson. They literally said at one point in the movie, Magic Johnson doesn't even have his own shoe. I'm like, damn, that's awesome. Like just to casually put that in there. Shout out Ben Affleck, and if Jason Bateman had anything to do with that, we know he's a directing genius as well. If you haven't seen Ozark with Jason Bateman, you're missing out. They were dropping legends names like Magic Johnson, John Stockton, Hakeem, Michael Jordan, of course. And you look at one point, they're in the draft room where they're literally deciding which NBA player to go after with Nike. They're naming off many legends. And they're doubting initially that they could even land Michael Jordan due to how Converse owned over half of the basketball shoe market at 54%, I believe. MJ actually wanted, well, excuse me, let me back up a little bit. The prowess of Converse and the prowess of Adidas owned most of the basketball shoe market at the time. Adidas, I want to say, maybe had around 30 something percent. And then I think Nike was at 17%. I, of course, can go back and get the numbers, but I wasn't able to find it. But the biggest thing is Converse and Adidas dominated the basketball game. A lot of athletes wanted to go there. Everyone wore all stars. Everyone, liked the shell toes and whatnot. The Velcro straps on the top of the Adidas. And more than anything, MJ wanted to go to Adidas with a backup of Converse, and Nike was just running shoes at the time. So you look at great part of the movie. Sonny Vaccaro goes to Michael Jordan's home to talk with his mom, and he essentially blueprints how the meetings with Converse and Adidas would go, from what they'd say, how they wouldn't put MJ in the spotlight, but really in the mix of all the other big NBA stars like the Larry Birds and the other players that were drafted, at that time before MJ. But just the way that Kenny Vaccaro. Oh, I'm thinking of a former Saints safety. I don't even know if he's still in the league. Sonny Vaccaro. To know how Sonny Vaccaro, however you say it, the way he sold and really pumped up how he viewed MJ compared to everyone else, and looked his mother dead in the face and said, "You're probably the only other person in this world that knows it besides me and him." Because they knew how great MJ was. They knew what Michael Jordan was going to be before he even ever became it. When they created the OG Jordan 1 to present to Michael Jordan in the movie, that reveal was iconic for all sneakerheads, no question about that. The way Sonny Vaccaro really halted that Nike presentation, again, played by Matt Damon, just mid-meeting to speak right to MJ and tell him why he was worth it. He cut the slideshow, cut the video, cut the presentation. Like, this is why I want you here, because you're Michael freaking Jordan. And I want you in this building. I want to get you signed because we're going to make the shoe all about you. It is Air Jordan. Go ask Adidas if they would put your name on their product. Your name, not your logo, your name. Go ask Converse if they would do the same. Because Sonny Vaccaro sitting right there telling you, I know what we can do. We've made it for you. Here's a prototype. MJ wanted that shoe. MJ looked at the shoe, realized how it was Bulls colors. And Nike was even willing to pay the fines every single game for MJ for him to wear that iconic red, black, and white shoe. Air Jordan 1, Chicago Bulls edition. Sick as hell. But the real meat and potatoes of the movie, MJ's mom negotiating for him, really stole the entire show. They position her as the catalyst / reason why Michael Jordan ends up wanting to sign with Nike, because Nike makes an offer of $250,000 a year for the salary guaranteed. Adidas matches it, also gives MJ that red Mercedes-Benz that he was wanting at the time. You'll kind of see, if you get into the movie. And his mom is really positioned, and she's played as the catalyst and the reason why Michael Jordan does sign with Nike, why he ends up taking the deal, and how it paved the way for him, his family, and hundreds of other athletes to follow in his footsteps. Ben Affleck, again, who plays Phil Knight, I believe that is right. Yeah, Ben Affleck plays Phil Knight, co-founder of Nike. He's sitting on the couch at the end of the movie, and he goes, "Well, what's the most we've ever done on a shoe deal? Like $3 million?" You've never signed Michael Jordan, brother, because his mom negotiated a royalty of every shoe sold, and Jordan's did $162 million in the first year of hitting the market. The first year, they do $162 million. Michael Jordan, to this day, per the Air movie, makes over $400 million a year from the Jordan brand. Absolutely set for life. Shout out to Dolores Davis. God rest Dolores Jordan. Am I saying that right? I think, yeah, Dolores Jordan, Dolores Davis. What am I talking about? God rest his soul to James Jordan. And just knowing that his mom believed in him so much to literally get on the phone for Nike. She said, "It's not time for you to talk to Michael yet. I don't think y'all are ready to meet each other. I essentially want to kind of take the recent Lamar Jackson era, kind of route and have the mom as an agent, have the mom negotiate for me. Mom knows my worth, you know?" Ben Affleck really did great with the scripts in this movie overall, especially when MJ's mom was naming everything he would do in the NBA. And of course, everything that she was naming, all this happened in MJ's career. She said, "I know what my son will do. I know what my son can do, whether it's the 10-time scoring champion, whether it's undefeated in the NBA finals, whether it's multiple defensive players of the year, whether it's multiple finals rings, whether it's multiple finals MVP." She said, "I know what my son's going to do. I know what he's going to do. All NBA, all defensive team." Like, she was going through the accolades because she knew MJ was headed there. It just, for her to be so fluent on that and use that in her negotiation to not only win that deal for her son, I mean, one of one, hands down, that part stole the movie. So at the end of everything, Air is a fantastic movie. Again, not about Michael Jordan, but about the relentless pursuit that Nike put on, really, that Sonny Vaccaro, however, again, put on to go chase MJ. So don't come to this movie looking for the story or the rise of Michael Jordan. It's about the people who relentlessly pursued him and changed his life, the shoe market, athlete awareness, and really compensation forever. Great vibes, great, um, just great scripts, great setting, great plot. Uh, I mean, great actors, great energy. You couldn't ask for really much better in an amazing sports movie surrounding a certain aspect of Michael Jordan that changed his life, but really the sports world forever.